All right, guys, welcome back to the Sayin Society. You have myself, Jochik, Justman, and Jagad. We're back from a long break, but we came back to some heat. All right.
We took that Oda break.
Yeah, we took that Oda break, so
Really
don't worry,
did.
don't worry. And yeah, so we got JJK, the manga, the anime. We're talking about Black Clover. We're talking about Vinland Saga, and then we're talking about the Bleach anime.
Not in that order.
Yeah, but just
In
You
that,
know, it'll be talked about.
in that.
Also, just want to briefly mention, the One Piece community just went straight stupid
Why?
over
do you
this
mean?
1 month break.
Why?
What do you mean?
Because they just, I don't know what was happening, but they were started scaling people just randomly, and they're like, yo, like me, I don't know if Mihawk can even take like King or like, you know, just like random shit like that.
bro.
Where
The
you're
thing is, yo,
it was just
there's-
random
It's not
bullshit
random
takes.
bullshit, bro. It's this. There's like another, like there's people in the community who think Mihawk is a fake. Like he's not
He's fake
actually.
strong.
He's
He's
fake
strongest?
strong, right?
Oh, okay.
Like he's not actually as strong as he
Yeah.
claims to be, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like he's the strongest swordsman, but he's not really, you know. So
Okay.
then because of that, people have been like slandering Mihawk. But just wait, you're gonna see.
No, but like I remember
He's
somebody was
him.
tallying up. There was like 6 different takes because like each week would just be random, like a
Bro, it's-
garbage take.
Who is posting these takes? It's just
I don't-
random
It's,
accounts.
it's not random
I know-
accounts, bro.
I
I know
know-
one for sure is that One Piece Talk. Like it's a podcast called That One Piece Talk.
Oh, okay.
And they have those takes, but they have a community where they get like the takes from their community and they like.
We're better than that podcast.
But anyways, yeah, like for example, like Garling,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So he has a sword.
Mm-hmm.
So if Mihawk is the world's greatest swordsman, he should be stronger than him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then there's like also the Gorosei. One of them has a sword. So then people are like, okay,
This
like,
is so crazy though. The way people just be, it's so weird to me the way they're scaling. They're just like, oh, just because they have swords, like that means.
we talked about this in Japan.
yeah, we did,
remember?
Yeah.
we did.
But it's just crazy.
Like, just because they have
anytime-
a sword doesn't mean that's like
yeah,
they're like.
but
no,
the
no, 100%,
officially like
100%.
swords.
like an actual sword.
Yeah,
They don't
yeah.
consider themselves an actual
Yeah.
swordsman.
Yeah.
They can still be a fighter and
No,
like fight without
exactly.
the sword.
Yeah.
But then
But it's just crazy that the community just
No,
sees
no,
like,
but
oh,
the
they see a
community-
sword. Like as
no.
soon as Oda makes a character design and he has a sword, they're like, but Mihawk's beating, and then they're like, then they scale from Mihawk, and they're like, okay, like Zoro's here, Mihawk, you know what I mean? And then they make like a whole thing, and you're just sitting there like, what the fuck, man?
the
Like,
thing is, like they have a lot of recency bias too,
yeah,
because the latest not the latest episode, but like 2 weeks ago, the episode where Law and Kid
that went crazy.
when that was a
went
crazy episode.
I feel like I would
they-
even want to cover it just because
they
how crazy that
they
shit was.
fuck up, like they destroy Big Mom. Right?
But
It's the one where Law pierces through Big Mom.
is it at the end of this month? Like Year 5?
Yeah.
No, next.
It's end of July.
No, it's gonna air in August apparently.
The last episode in July is gonna
Yeah.
be when
Joy
Boy
Boy
awakens.
returns.
Yeah,
and then
like
'cause that's gonna be like the cliffhanger.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then the
in
next
August.
one.
Yeah. But like that episode, right? Kid and Law defeat Big Mom,
Mm-hmm.
and the Kid community went crazy.
Yeah.
They're like, "Yo, it's Kid Peace. It's Kid Peace. He's him. You're not ready, bro. Kid's
If
stronger."
only they
They're
read
like,
the manga.
they're like, "Yo, Kid's stronger than X, Y, and Z." And I'm like, "Bro,
Nah,
you
it's
guys
fair.
aren't even. Let me just ruin your life right now.
Yeah,
And
post
send
a
this
scam.
yeah, like you guys aren't even ready.
No,
bro.
but the animators actually went off. I don't know if
Yeah,
you actually
they
ended up
did,
watching
they
the
did.
I haven't.
episode whole like
I've been waiting
the
for Gear 5.
the animation frames. No, you gotta. I feel like
you need to
watch
Second
watch
watch
these
them.
movies
Yeah.
or these
Movies.
movies.
Yeah,
Watch
no,
this.
the way they're animated is
Yo,
like movies,
it's like
bro.
movies.
Okay,
Like just
okay.
watch
Yeah.
the
Like-
episodes,
Okay.
and it's just crazy because then if you already see what they're doing with that,
yeah.
Gear 5 is gonna be
Like, you
something
watched
else.
the King versus
You know?
Zoro fight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like people have been sensed to that fight
Yeah.
because they've been seeing hidden things in like the
in
frames
the animation frame.
in the animation frames.
Mm-hmm.
People started analyzing every animation frame.
Yeah.
So
It's
when
like
Big
the-
Mom
like the King one.
Yeah.
You saw him as a kid,
Kid,
and you
and-
saw. I think you also saw
as a
Kaido.
teen. No, you see
Or-
him like
oh, you see him age
age
in
up
the middle of like an
in the
impact
middle
frame.
of the impact
Mhm.
frame as he like
Yeah.
shoots his attack. Right?
So then the Big Mom one, there's
in
it's
the
kind
Big
of
Mom
funny.
one, the fucking like one of the frames as she gets hit, it literally says "smoking on that Big Mom pack."
No.
I'm
Yeah.
serious.
You
I'm
can
serious.
literally
I thought
read
people,
it.
I thought people
I
were
thought
just
it was
saying shit on
Photoshop or
Twitter,
whatever.
and then
I
I
was like, it's
watched,
not real.
and then I watched the episode, and I'm like, yo, no way.
This is
like, it's
crazy.
actually-
Yeah.
Like just think about like an animator, like just writing.
Yeah.
Smoking
Yeah.
on Big Mom back.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So,
That's fucking hilarious, dude.
but we do know that for the Gear 5 stuff, Warner Bros. Like they have Warner Bros. Animators.
That's never confirmed.
That was never confirmed.
Was it not?
No.
A
That was
lot of
somebody
people-
misinformation.
Was
site.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and people ran with it.
Yeah.
Really? Because
Yeah.
people, I've been seeing a lot of posts of that, especially during this break month. That like they're, just because the fact that these episodes have already been so crazy.
Yeah.
That the fact that they're kind of like, oh, they've been working on Gear 5 for 7 months, like this episode they've been working on it for so long. They even got the animators, like there's like a list of like 5 different things they've been doing for this episode.
Yeah.
So the hype is there.
No, of course the hype is
like
there.
people are saying
people are just adding like extra shit.
It's just
to it.
random.
So the Warner Bros. Animated
It's
thing
not
wasn't
that was never
confirmed.
confirmed. No one ever
Really?
No real
Okay.
source ever confirmed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's probably Gio. Gio's always spreading misinformation. This guy, man.
He tweets some of the weirdest shit
Yeah,
sometimes.
All right. So, what are we starting with?
Start with some Vinland.
All right.
Sure.
So, Vinland Saga chapter 2
Wait.
or 3?
I don't think,
I think so.
we weren't here when the finale happened for Vinland.
For Vinland, no. So we should also talk about the
Let's
anime.
really quickly just go over the finale.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So, we'll talk about the
Did-
anime.
Did you catch up with it?
Yeah,
You watched it all?
I
Okay,
watched
yeah,
it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch it all?
I did not, but I read it all. So it's
I
okay.
thought it was sick.
It was nice,
I
right?
read it all.
So
'Cause they-
beautifully animated.
Because they ended it where he goes back to home,
Yeah.
and then he like meets his sister and his mom. This guy.
yeah.
So
we
quick.
got a fraud here.
So quick.
We got a fraud.
So quick. Like, yeah. Wait. I remember that part.
I read it, bro.
Yo.
Nah.
I
The way
read
it was
it.
animated, dude. The way
Yeah.
he's just like.
No, it's
Yeah,
because when I caught up to
Yo, the thing is,
to be
people
fair-
just be assuming, right? Like nowadays.
It's a common misconception.
to be fair, when I caught up though, I told them I was like, oh, this is where it ends and like this will happen.
Yeah, but I've read it, so it's fine.
I guess
It's not Andor all over again.
I guess so.
That shit was fucking
I guess
hilarious.
so. I guess so. Yeah, I think it was a good spot to end it.
Yeah, no, like
Right.
there was some beautiful shots, bro. Like the whole like they kind of like a montage type thing, and like just having everything, you see everything. It was just so
As it
sick.
played out, yeah.
And like the orphan,
Even
because
because
like the
we
haircut
met,
at the end.
we
looking cute.
he was looking nice, but when we when we left, there was like 4 or 5 episodes that we had missed,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it was essentially that whole section with him dealing with Canute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think even that conversation he was having with Canute, I think it came off better in the anime than it did in the manga. Because it
I
was
agree.
it was just the way Canute was just thinking about the way he's doing things compared to the way Thorfinn's doing it, and then they're like the terms that they came to, and even when Thorfinn was taking all the punches,
Yeah. Like
I
when Canute was like, so what are you gonna do if I have to like come after you or something?
and then he's like, I'm
"I'ma
just run away. Yeah,
Like Canute's like, what the fuck, bro?
yeah. Like I think it like overall that whole second season they were able to translate what happened in the manga very well, and probably even
Yeah.
like maybe even better, but it'd be hard. Like it's
The music, bro. It's like music too.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Music
like
adds
the,
a lot
the
to it.
emotional aspects
Yeah,
of that
yeah.
season hit a little bit harder in the anime compared to reading
Mhm,
it.
mhm.
Maybe that's just personally, but
Yeah.
it could be because of the music and
Yeah.
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 Bro,
yeah.
isn't
Who
it
knows?
isn't it so funny that like Thorfinn's this like crazy fucking fighter, goes
Yeah.
back home, just gets his ass kicked by his sister
Rules are rules,
multiple
bro.
times,
That's how it is, man.
just getting
that,
rotated.
doesn't happen to you.
No,
Oh.
No, but it's
Yeah.
like
does it happen to you?
No, but your sister beat your ass enough.
Wait,
That's
wait,
what I'm saying.
wait, does it happen to you?
I beat his ass every time.
You heard it here first, guys.
He can try. He can try, bro. He can try, bro.
Professional instigator.
You're subbing in for me, right? We're gonna John Wick this way, and you're gonna sub in.
Yeah, no, I thought the season ended really well. We actually called it. That's where the season was gonna
Would
end.
end, yeah, at the beginning.
Yeah.
We called
Because
that
it made
shit.
the
True.
most sense to end it there.
No, for
Yeah.
sure.
Because now we'll see how the next
So-
if they drop the next season. Did they confirm that they're dropping an anime for that?
Yeah.
So this is probably where we're gonna see a lot of the change from the anime to the manga.
Oh
Right?
yeah, for sure.
In a way, not in a way. You heard it here first.
That's fair.
Uh,
But what I am surprised about, like, this is not Vinland anymore. I'm talking about JJK. The anime for this,
you said you're talking about JJK now.
What?
You still gotta talk about Vinland manga, bro.
Oh.
Just quit jumping the gun, bro.
Yo,
Dude.
dude.
Hold your horses there, bucko.
Put
'Cause-
it back in your pants.
because you gotta see what I saw.
We saw what you saw.
All right.
We saw. We be seeing. We be seeing and we be sawing.
He's sawing.
All right.
Seeing
Okay,
sawing.
let's talk about the manga real quick, and then let's jump into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the chapter was just about like, because the last chapter was a cliffhanger, right? Where he's like, "Oh, you won't believe what happened here."
Mm-hmm.
Now they're showing us what happened.
Now they're showing what happened, and it seemed like, as I was reading the chapter, it was just war, and I was like, this shit, like this is what you
This
left
been
us.
happening.
I'm like, yeah,
This
you
what you
fucking left us.
cliffhangered us for?
Exactly. I'm like, yo, this is what
You're
you
hilarious,
cliffhangered us
man.
for. Like,
No.
yo, this been happening. Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? And then they're like, no way, it was a disease.
It's a disease.
And I'm like,
yeah.
all right, man,
But
good
like,
job.
but like through history, we knew that
It was
gonna
a
be
disease,
I
yeah.
know. But like,
Okay.
Yeah, because we had that conversation.
we knew it was
what
gonna be a disease, but I thought maybe there was like
he was gonna do some weird
some
shit.
weird shit. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
We did have that talk where
Yeah.
he might do it different, make
And
it more dramatic.
remember how
or
I was saying
something.
like war is the disease too?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he could have taken like that whole.
I
spin on it
think what's
too.
cool with this chapter though is Thorfinn realizing that they brought this disease amongst
Yeah.
the people,
Mhm.
Yeah.
because this is gonna change. Like, even though he has good intentions, it's just not working out
No,
the way he
100%,
wants it to,
100%. Cause
and
like,
and that's got to be frustrating for him.
for sure.
So
we're
I-
definitely like this is it.
What do you mean?
Because
Like, this is the end?
this
Yeah.
is the end.
Yeah,
Because
for sure.
after this, when Thorfinn realizes that there's nothing he can do, he leaves Vinland and
Yeah.
goes back to Iceland.
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys. You know how
Why'd he put it like that? Like he was
Go
about
ahead.
to, like he was
Shoot,
about to
bro.
come out.
Shoot, bro.
So you know how Death Note at the end, how Light kind of just like shits the bed
Yeah.
essentially, and he just
right,
like
he
freaks
dies.
out.
Yeah.
Do you think whatever's happening now in Vinland, that Thorfinn, like him going back to Iceland and stuff, is him just accepting like the Viking ways, and he kind of just gives up on what he was
No.
thinking, and then he
No.
just, you know,
I
like,
think
dies
more-
like a warrior's death
no.
type of thing.
I think
Mm.
what's gonna happen is he's gonna go back to Iceland and he's essentially just gonna be the same as Thor's was.
Yeah.
How Thor's
But
was
like,
at the
but
beginning
having
of
failed,
Finland.
like trying to achieve.
but
like,
you could
that
you
No,
could
true
say
you
warrior.
could
that
say he
Thor's
kind of-
was also in that.
He was on that
sense.
same area, like no violence, living his
Yeah,
own
yeah, but
peaceful
Thor's
life
was like
away from war.
in,
'Cause
in
Thor's also
context
wanted
in
to go to
context to what
Vinland.
Thorfinn has achieved.
Yeah.
Thor's was somebody who failed to become a true warrior.
You
And-
can't know.
Yeah,
He was a true warrior.
he was trying his best to become a true warrior, and everyone else who was a Viking that never even like had a glimpse of what that was,
Yeah.
thought of like Thor's as like the pinnacle. But then where Thorfinn is now in the story, Thorfinn's ahead of that.
In terms of you're saying like laying down your sword and not fighting anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thorfinn actually took
But
it
he
to like the
did-
utmost, like as far as like, you know, he literally
But he
doesn't
did
fight.
the same thing. The only thing is like instead of Thorfinn ran to Vinland,
Mm-hmm.
whereas Thor's ran to Iceland.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but
You know what I
Thor
mean?
still like he still
So-
fights. He was still killing
but-
people or he wasn't killing. He wasn't killing.
bro.
He wasn't
No,
killing.
he wasn't.
He wasn't killing, but he was still fighting people. Whereas Thorfinn took it a step
time
further.
He fought was
Was
to protect Thorfinn.
I know.
Yeah.
So you're still fighting people.
Okay, but you're telling me Thorfinn, if Carl is about to get eaten by some zombies.
I mean,
Carl!
Carl.
you know what's coming.
Carl. Don't go near that zombie.
Anyways. So if Carl's about to die, you think Thorfinn's not gonna protect him? He is for sure
No,
gonna
but-
do that.
Well, part of it. Think about Thorfinn's position right now. His girl's pregnant, and he has Carl. He has to.
But considering the arc prior,
Yeah.
like when they're leaving for Vinland, and he
Yeah.
has to go through all like the Joan Viking stuff.
Yeah.
He's like the last time we see him fight is when he's kind of just parrying all those guys' attacks, and that's it.
Yeah.
But he like
But even
there's so
Thor's,
many
like
circumstances there where he would have died and he still didn't fight anyone.
no, even
And it's
Thor's,
just because like somebody else came to save him.
Thor's only disarmed them. He didn't kill anyone. He literally disarmed everyone. That's it.
But I'm just saying is Thorfinn took it a step further. Like where Thorfinn's at now, he's more of a warrior, like a true warrior than Thor's was. Is what I'm saying.
I think
But
the
I'm
only
saying he
difference
en-
is Vinland.
Yeah, the only difference is
That's
Vinland, I
that's
think.
all it is.
Yeah,
It's just the
that's
location.
like it's to me. It's not the fact that Thor's was fighting or he wasn't fighting. To
yeah.
me, it's the fact that Thor's failed to reach Finland.
So
But the
are you
thing
saying
is-
that the way this is gonna lead with the natives, Thorfinn's gonna end up having a fight
No.
No, I think he
at
just
all?
leaves.
Not at all.
Yeah, he
I
leaves
think he
back to
leaves.
Iceland.
But like, why can't he go back to Iceland with the same values he had in Vinland and negotiate with the people there to live in that sense?
It would
I'm
be
not saying that he can't. I'm just saying, what if he, like, seeing, like, he's had this hope this whole time, like, he's seeing light at the end of the tunnel, and he's, like, working
Yeah.
towards this. Having it kind of, like, shoved down his throat that, like, there's no way for them to achieve it, and that he has to go back home,
Yeah.
it could change his perspective.
I don't think so. You think we had this entire story just to have this one thing change his perspective?
Probably. Well, it depends on how the creator wants to end it. Because what if the creator takes us
But-
through another arc of like
so
the things that Thorfinn has to deal with, like coming to terms with.
maybe, but
Could be, but I think the way it's gonna end off is just literally he's like gonna be like Thor's, living in Iceland,
Yeah.
same way Thor's was.
You don't think Thorfinn dies at the end?
I mean, yeah, he's gonna die. Everyone dies.
No, at the end of the story that he like this
Well,
story that he tells.
This story?
Yeah.
no, I don't think so.
No,
because
they don't need to.
because
They
from
don't
what
need
from
to,
what
yeah.
I remember
They
for
don't.
like the history of Thorfinn is he goes back to Iceland and just lives the rest of his life there, just in peace
Okay.
with his fam.
Okay. So we're very close to them
Yeah.
just leaving.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But
Wow.
I could see him. We
You th-
talked about this too on pod. I could see him do some shit where like he sits down with Canute and talks to him or some shit.
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
haven't seen what's like. Do you think it's gonna end by the end of this year? Because we haven't seen what's happening with Canute's
No,
side. Like we've seen it.
there's
Kind
not
of
enough.
progress.
It's monthly,
but not-
so
It's monthly, there's
yeah,
not
I don't
enough.
think so.
Yeah, it'd probably be next year.
Like maybe mid next year.
yeah, if there's no breaks. Or
Yeah.
anything.
Okay. Yeah, I
All
can
right,
see that.
moving on.
So JJK anime.
You want to talk about Bleach?
Yo, relax, bro.
Like hyperventilating. He's like,
Okay, we can talk about
We'll
Bleach.
talk about
Bleach,
Bleach,
Bleach was
bro.
pretty fire too. So, you know.
so yeah, the Bleach anime was crazy, bro.
yeah, it was. Yo, first of all, the opening.
Banger.
Opening was
Holy
sick.
shit! The fact that they're all dripped out in suits and stuff.
Yeah.
That's
like,
cool,
They
bro.
went.
That's cool
off.
to the T, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
That's
but
how
they
he's
went
been.
like you know.
Yo,
They're-
Bleach characters are the
'Cause
one
it's-
of the most drippiest characters.
But it's one thing creating a theme song where they're in their regular outfits and
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
just like regular moves and like
That's like inspiration from Kubo though, like
yeah,
That's what he does.
which
because
is
he always
which is
draws
cool.
them in like
Yeah.
Even like the I guess you say the animation of when like the Bleach logo shows up and
Yeah, yeah,
everything. That's
yeah,
cool. Yeah,
But-
as soon as that like opening started, I was ready.
So yeah, like the first scene we see is of Yuhaba.
Yuhaba.
you.
Kind of like a kid or like a baby embryo
You-
becoming a kid.
Everything, yeah.
But then you see like a glimpse of Ichigo there too, actually.
But I like that whole,
Which is kinda
like,
cool.
the way that
You-
sequence was animated
Yeah, yeah.
was sick.
It was, I had to
Yeah.
rewind and watch it again, and I was like,
Yeah,
wait,
yeah.
because like is that
Bah.
Ichigo that I saw?
you.
Bah.
You.
Okay,
Okay, we
chill.
just-
Oh, that's what they were doing, dude.
Are you
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
enlisted, man?
Yeah.
Whoa.
You don't got blue eyes, blonde hair. Hmm.
Okay. Anyways, bro, we're not going there. Yeah, the animation was crazy, bro, and just the shots too. The music, like the orchestral music of everything, amazing. And I really liked the shot of Yuhaba and Uryu,
Yeah,
where he's like kneeling and drinking his blood.
blood. Yeah.
That shot was crazy. The black with the just them in the white just highlighted so nicely.
I always found it.
He's a bitch.
I always found it kind of weird. Like when we were reading Thousand Year Blood War arc, just when ever since Uryu kind of just switched sides,
Switch sides, like
it kind of just always felt like, you know, he's gonna stab him in the back. Like you know that he's not.
No,
Good.
it was also like I was watching it too, and I was like, "Yo, why did Uryu like?
Why did
pick,
he accept him?
And why did he pick Uryu?
Yeah,
Right, and then
Yeah,
he
yeah.
says Uryu's the only real Quincy
yeah,
that
yeah.
survived, but then the rest.
That's what I'm
Are
saying.
the rest of them just fakes?
Well, they were
They-
all
I think-
basically bred like in that 1,000-year gap where they weren't. I guess you could say they weren't really tested against like
Cause he survived
What-
the fucking
the
what's
actual
it
like
called?
annihilating thing that he, because when he took everyone's life
Yeah, yeah,
and like Ichigo's mom died, Uryu's mom died, and everything.
Yeah,
Uryu
yeah.
survived, right?
yeah. But
So that's why you're saying like there's something different about Uryu.
Uryu's dad survived too.
Yeah, that's the weird part.
Because then why wouldn't he pick someone who's a more experienced Quincy or like Uryu specifically? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know why his dad survived, but it might have to do something with Uryu's grandpa though, or something. Because I know,
Maybe.
Uryu knows a technique that was passed down from his grandpa
Yeah, yeah. It's a
that
different technique
that the other
Quincy
ones don't
use.
actually know.
Yeah, yeah. They use a different technique.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So
they
it-
were all experimented on
yeah.
or some shit.
and with Ichigo's
True.
mom, like she didn't technically die. She just lost her powers and then a hollow killed her.
So
Yeah.
she didn't die.
But I mean, like he didn't he didn't kill her. Is what I
Okay,
meant. Is
yeah.
what I meant. He didn't kill her. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of holes right now.
Yeah, chill. Like he didn't kill her. Is what I'm saying.
This island's not floating.
Yeah. Stop.
No, but
Wait, she.
yo, this is very good. Okay, yo,
Anyways,
pull that out. You got nothing else to say?
No.
Again.
anyways,
All right. So The other thing though that I really liked about this episode is that like the arc, everything's gonna start next episode. Like they reveal the Wonder Reich, everything.
They all pulled up.
Starting.
They all pulled up. Like it's the same way it started in season 1.
Yeah.
We thought it was gonna be a little bit of build
right
up,
away.
but it's right away. Like it's on site.
Bro, and Byakuya, bro, fucking
He
looking
looks
sick.
yeah. For the little bit that we did see of him.
Yeah. He's like, yo, I'm not there yet.
Nudes coming soon, right?
Yo. Bro, was
Anyways.
it? I don't know if it hit in the anime when what's his name? Fucking who's head captain right now? Who's head captain right now? I don't know this.
Oh yeah,
Shinsui?
Shinsui Kiraku.
When he was telling Ichigo's friends that like, yo, they'll
Yeah.
never see
No,
him
no.
again. It didn't hit as hard in the anime that like I thought it hit harder in the manga.
They're both pretty good.
I know. I think it's because
'Cause
of Shinsui's tone in the anime.
Yeah.
He's like so like playful with it, whereas in the manga you're like, yo, this is like a serious
You interpret
moment.
it as like a serious moment? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
For me, they both hit because reading it in the manga because we did do the
The
back-
review.
yeah.
So if any of you guys know, we did a whole review of the entire Bleach manga. Check that out. It's an old pod, so our audio's terrible and our video's terrible, but the content is great.
The content. we had a lot to say.
We had a lot to say,
That was
so.
a pretty lengthy one.
Yeah, it was.
But I think the anime still did pretty good because you know how he is,
Yeah.
and maybe that's our fault for the way
Yeah,
that you would have
probably,
read it. But I think he still kept it serious, and then
For sure.
when he gave them the passes and stuff, it's like because you had Ichigo's what's his name? The guy that's always you're just talking shit. The guy with like the longer hair.
His boy.
With the brown hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it worked.
Keigo?
Keigo.
I think
it worked nicely with him though, because you had the way he was talking all this shit. You're kind of like, wow, Shinsui, like you guys, like you're just taking Ichigo away from these guys, like what the? And you kind of knew that he might have had something else planned, but and then you had like the other friends come up and they're like, yo, what does this mean? Like this is hypothetical, like you know, like what's the odds of this happening? Like they're kind of like think about it a little more logically.
Yeah.
And then it got serious again, so it kind of it worked out,
No, I did.
right?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, this guy's he's a nice guy. And then also the fact that he knew what Ichigo was doing and like what might he doesn't like know what's gonna happen with Ichigo, and there's kind of a not like a fear but like ambiguity there that he doesn't know how to move forward.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of cool. And then I don't even know what Ichigo's doing. He's just walking down steps. Like what is that?
Yeah, they didn't show that in the manga, right?
I don't think so. So it's like what
Because
is this?
they skip all of his training. We don't know what he does.
They do skip it, yeah.
Yeah. So like this is all new content.
We're getting a lot of like Kubo's
Great.
putting in work.
Love it.
There's that scene. There's that scene with that
He's like
stern rider
shirtless,
girl.
dude. He's like shirtless.
Well, but there's also that scene where, so when Uryu gets, and they're like, oh, this guy's gonna be the future
Bambi?
emperor. Everyone's fucking chopped, and
That
they're
girl
like,
Bambi.
yeah.
That transition was crazy.
Crazy. Dude.
That was a clean ass transition.
Where she's like, yeah, you come over here,
And then
we about to. No, we're not fucking. I'm gonna kill you. Like,
No,
you know what I
it's
mean?
literally, she looks at him, he looks at her. The transition is him getting split in half, and then it shows her.
That's crazy. But
Crazy.
he thought he was about to fuck.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
we should
she's
tease
like,
them too.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
You just cut him up, and everyone's like, yeah, you need to stop
Doing this.
Yeah, whenever you're pissed off, you want to kill someone.
Yeah.
I thought that was like it was a great way to personalize these characters more or whatever. Like actually give them more character depth. Because I think they basically just get murked out like pretty quick, and you don't really like see a lot of these people.
Well, you get character development from one of them, but
Like a few, but like
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it's not enough, right?
not
And then
enough,
even the guy that stopped the fight, the guy that made the bubble, like the little circle in the air.
oh yeah, that's new.
That's new too.
Yeah,
Like there was a lot of
the
scenes that you.
that one dude.
I don't remember his name. Like it's too many names. Too many.
I can't even say it's a spoiler.
Yeah.
So that's why I stopped talking, man.
But that's what I'm saying. Like these little scenes that he's adding, it actually is adding a lot to the overall arc because we're getting to see how they're reacting to things, and I don't know. It just makes a lot more sense.
All right, JJK, episode 1, season 2.
Black Clover?
Oh, Black Clover.
Oh, you want to do JJK at the end?
I jumped.
That's
I
what
jumped.
this is.
I jumped.
We're doing this at the end.
All right, yeah. So the
You guys
Black
just keep cucking me every time. It's like, oh, JJK. Oh no.
We're teasing you, bro.
Later,
We're teasing you,
later.
bro.
That's fine.
Masaji.
Masaji?
So
Masaji?
We'll just
So-
go for play. It's fine.
So Black Clover, this is a chapter that came out after break, and the spreads went crazy.
Dude, this man had 4 double spreads.
Yeah, and the art was going ham.
Yeah, he was going
Yeah,
kinda
yeah.
crazy with
The
the
art was
art.
actually good.
No, what do you actually?
You're just a
shut the fuck
hater,
up,
bro.
Yeah, so
You're a fake fan.
we had.
I'm a fake fan, bro. I'll
we ha-
pick up Black Clover when the anime starts up.
Just shut up, bro. We had what's his name?
Oh,
The movie.
yeah. Do you want?
We can talk about it.
Well, the movie was
we can
kinda
talk
cool.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
let's-
I
Alright,
watched
right.
parts of it.
So we'll talk about the manga first.
Yeah.
Because we're already in here.
Yeah.
So, the Scales guy, Diamante.
Yep.
He's fighting the Black Bulls.
Yep.
And they're getting the shit rocked.
That was Yami's friend that came back to life or whatever, right?
No, it wasn't,
No,
bro.
bro.
Dude, just stop talking.
Okay, you guys just do your thing.
So
I'll just be
he
here.
uses
I'll
scale-
just be
Yeah,
here.
yeah, dude. He uses Scales of Judgment, and then he has a Sword of Judgment, right? And he murks out. So basically, Gosh and Gray are working together,
Yeah.
and they're like healing everyone so that they can keep fighting against this guy. So he's kind of realizing that these are like kind of immortal because these dudes keep like running this sort of joint operation where
Some infinite loop type shit.
infinite loop type shit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So then he goes to the source, murks them out.
Yeah, they get rocked.
He cuts them in
in
half.
half
They're dead.
for like a few pages.
No,
I
because
know,
they're
I know.
because the thing is he murks out everyone there. But those two specifically get cut in half.
Yeah.
Then he murks out everyone else, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Yo, you guys ain't shit," right? And then Asta's just watching through a portal, right?
He's watching through you. No,
I know. I thought it was the portal that he's gonna
Oh.
step through.
it looked like he was watching.
So he's about to pull up, is what I'm saying.
He's
Yeah.
about to
I'm
pull up.
hearing.
He's about to pull up. But
Well,
he's about to pull up for like.
He for
For
like
how long?
3
Whatever.
chapters, bro. At the end of like 3 chapters ago, at the last
Yeah.
page is him saying, "All right, time to go" or some
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. yeah.
And he's
having
still
these-
not there.
They're all murked, and then the Narrow's doing her like demon seal
She
shit,
yeah, she has like sealing magic.
and then all of them wake up. But if you look at the panel, right, the panel's sick because all of them are
They're-
like bloodied up, and they're like, "Yo, about to fuck this guy up."
yeah.
So you have like Luck, you have all these dudes, but the people who are not there are Gray and Gosh. Like
they're not dead.
they're not there, so they're dead.
They're not.
Nah, I hope he took this break and he killed some people.
There's
That's what I'm thinking.
no way
He's
killed
doing
him.
it.
You want to know why?
Why?
'Cause he can't
Because
kill people.
Gray has a crush on Gauche, and there hasn't been any development there.
Fuck it.
So he's
Fuck
gonna
it.
have
You
them
need to
come
have
back.
the ships, dude.
No,
you
no.
need to have the ships.
He's gonna do it for the fucking shifts.
That's
I
crazy.
guarantee you. He's
Is that
gonna
like a
bring
big
them
thing
back.
in the Black Clover community? Are these
Yeah.
ships?
Yeah, they're
Like Noel and Asta or something? Right?
Yeah.
That's a ship, right?
There's
Yeah.
you know what? Everything's a ship, you know?
Asta
Friendships.
got like a harem of chicks.
Yeah, Asta does, bro.
He does.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Literally,
that's
bro.
cool.
you got
Mimosa, Noel,
Yami's sister.
Yami's sister,
The nun.
Sister Lily.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
the queen from the Heart Kingdom.
The
too, I
queen
don't
from
know.
the
I
Heart
don't
Kingdom.
know.
There's like
Yeah.
just like
mad chicks that just like
mad chicks, dude.
Yeah.
Be
Just
like
drowning
Asta.
in bitches, bro.
Anyways, so the movie, the Black Clover movie, the Wizard King.
Yeah, I
sword
didn't like
movie,
that. A little bit.
This movie wasn't bad.
It
Like-
wasn't
It wasn't.
bad.
The story, I think, just kind of takes away from
No, like everything.
Lucius
that
and Julius's like.
no, but everything that happened in the movie made sense. Like there was no
Yeah.
point in the movie where I was like, "Yo, why the fuck didn't he just do this? Why the fuck didn't
No,
they just do this?"
You know what doesn't make sense?
What's
But
up?
the fact
I'm
that
sorry. I'm sorry for cutting you
Go ahead,
off.
go ahead.
But we're talking about Asta versus a Wizard King.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And this is before Asta has any demon mode or anything
That's
like
true.
that.
That's true. That's true.
Like he didn't have the union at
yeah,
all.
I'm saying prior to the final fight,
yeah.
right? Because
Okay.
they had to like allow for the plot to move forward.
Yeah.
Right. There's no point where you're like, "Yo, this doesn't make sense. Like, why isn't this like for
in
example
terms of the story, like
in
the
terms
writing.
of the story, the writing. That's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
except for the end part where like this fucking Wizard King is somehow matching up to Asta, which doesn't make sense,
Yeah.
right? But like, what's her name?
But doesn't it-
You could make it make sense if it was
Okay.
post?
post
Yeah,
like last arc, Spade Kingdom.
yeah, post Spade Kingdom, then it would make sense.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like Mello Leon,
Yeah.
right?
Her fight was sick.
Her fight was sick, and the character she fought against was sick too, because
Yeah.
she's been the only female character we've seen to have that sort of personality.
Yeah.
And she met like her rival essentially,
Yeah.
like someone who could stand on par with
I
them,
know it's
right?
kind of different, but it doesn't it kind of take away from the fact that Julius was also the previous Wizard King, and then he turns evil, and this guy
But
also is the
this
same.
felt more like
Like it's still different because that's Julius was still a nice solid guy, and then it's
Yeah.
just Lucius that kind of came over.
this. Just
This
like
is-
I
and
said
this
this
is-
before, bro. The latest arc of Black Clover,
Yeah.
feels exactly like Naruto, like the war,
Yeah.
reanimation, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing here. He just reanimated the previous Hokages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about
100%.
but I'm talking about this movie though.
That's what they did. He reanimated the previous Hokages.
Same thing. But that's what I'm saying. Like it's just like a hash. Like it's just rehashing that same idea.
Yeah. I feel
So
like
it's
they
like,
should have
doesn't that
used
take
like
the-
his key magic wasn't used. I feel like it should have been used better. Like he can unlock your potential or lock your magic or some shit like
yeah,
that.
100%.
Right?
When he thought when I saw him take Noel's magic, I
Yeah.
thought he took it.
Yeah.
But then she's
yeah.
fucking using it again. Like,
Well,
what the
no,
fuck happened?
they break his sword because it was locked with a sword, and then the
Yeah.
sword
Oh, okay.
cracks, and then she gets
That
her
makes
magic
sense.
back.
But she
or
no,
whatever,
remember
right?
when she was like trying to train and like she was able to use some magic.
Yeah.
I wanted like her to be like completely
Like,
stripped of
Oh,
magic.
like on
and
some
like
Asta
deal,
shit?
yeah, and like oh shit, this is what Asta feels like.
Yeah. No, that's what they should have done.
That would have
Yeah.
been cool.
That would've
Having
been
that
really dope.
moment of be like,
Yeah. There's
you
actually
know,
like a
this is
frame,
what life is like
there's a
without
single
magic.
frame-
Yeah.
There's a single frame in the movie where if you pause it at the right spot, it shows Yuno's glimmer. And
I don't know why you're gonna be like, you see titties.
I thought
didn't
I thought that's
see
where he was
that.
gonna go.
I thought he was
that's where he was
going
gonna go.
there
I was like, if you pause frame it at this, you will see the titties shake like this.
Why the fuck would I say that?
I don't know, man. I just sometimes you be just saying random shit.
Not like that. That's what you say. Anyways, if you pause it at the
the
right
way he
frame,
made it like so dramatic. I was like, I know this guy's about to say some shit like this.
if you look at his glimmer, right,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
has the Spade Kingdom logo on it. So it's like a spoiler for anime
Oh, I see.
onlys. Because, you know.
So movies just be doing that. It's not
But
just,
it's only if you pause it in like fucking one specific frame. Otherwise, you
Yeah.
don't notice it the entire movie.
yeah.
That didn't
Yeah.
make
Otherwise, it's just
sense.
titties the whole time.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, JJK.
Not much happened.
Speak,
really.
motherfucker. Not much happened, bro. All right, that's the end of the pod.
Yo, when I was watching the first episode,
Yeah.
it didn't even feel like it was JJK
No,
anymore.
I didn't.
Like I was legit. I had to high key pause it and be like, did I even load up JJK or did I just start something new? Because when they were walking through the hallway and they had that
Yeah.
initial mission,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't remember it being like this extensive
No.
and stuff.
Yeah,
But
'cause
it
they
felt
s- yeah.
felt way more ominous and way
Yeah.
more like a scary movie.
Yeah,
And I was like, that's what
Yo,
it felt.
it
like.
felt
when
so
I was watching
different,
it,
man.
I was like, yo, this guy. Like they
Horror
should
movie?
just do a collab horror movie.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
for
spin off
sure.
in the Jujutsu Kaisen world
Yeah.
with curses.
That'd be sick.
That would be
That'd be so sick. And it'd be like with non-sorcerers, like a
You
kid
can-
like
you
running
can do
away
it
or
from
some
like a
shit.
civilian's
Yeah.
perspective.
Yeah,
Have
yeah,
him
yeah.
running
Unreal.
and like actually like just
Oh.
dying, bloodied up, just not even
Dude,
making
map
it
up,
out.
bro.
Yeah,
Fucking get on our diet. This is a
Yeah.
sick idea.
it'd be a whole. It'd be a whole.
You heard it here first.
Like no, and because JJ is blown up so much where
Yeah.
even though like it wouldn't even affect the overall story, you would
At
just
all.
it would just kind of increase the stakes. Like you would sit there and be like, this is what the regular
No, 'cause you
civilians
could-
are kind
you
of
could
going through.
Yeah,
easily-
yeah.
Spoiler for the manga. You could easily incorporate that like Culling Game or post Shibuya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially Culling Game.
Yeah.
Especially Culling Game.
Exactly. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying. That's what I'm
100%.
saying. All right. So speaking of JJK manga.
No, the anime.
Wait,
Let's just
you
finish the
talk-
anime.
Yeah, what do you want to see what else?
Bro,
What
you
else
had
you wanna talk about?
Gojo balling up.
Oh yeah, you did.
You know, while they're talking about
You know what I didn't like though? This is fucking just weird. Like why? Just the way Gojo and fucking Geto are walking. Why are you guys walking like that?
Oh,
Why?
this is
Fucking
fucking the
weird.
zombie walk.
Yeah, like I think they were making a reference to like gorillas.
yeah.
It's like they're like an animated
I know
they're a
what you're talking
band,
about. I know what
but they
you're
always have like it
Yeah.
looked like that sort of art style. But just the way he was like walking, just like this, I'm like,
Uh,
what are you doing?
no, they're
bro?
just lofting, bro.
No, but nobody walks like that.
Yeah, it was a good shot, but it was used for a couple 2 seconds too long.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
I
That's what I'm saying.
personally don't have any problems with the episode. I thought it was fucking crazy.
yeah,
I like the Digimon reference.
that was fucking
Yeah.
Where
sick.
he's like, yo, so basically we want them to
You know
turn into
what's
like
wild?
Skullgreymon
You know what's
and we
wild?
don't want them
You know
to turn
what's wild, bro. People don't know that reference. People didn't understand that reference. On
makes sense.
Twitter,
That makes
somebody had
sense.
to make a thread to explain the fucking reference, bro.
Yeah, but that makes
You know
sense.
how wild that is?
Because well, JJK is just so popular and mainstream that like for a lot of people it might be one of their
So
one
let
of the
me-
only 3
let me
animes that they're
explain.
watching.
Yeah,
Let
Like
me
Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer,
Yeah.
and JJK is
Let
like
me
they're
explain
watching.
the reference,
you
bro.
know?
Aight.
So they're talking about Tengen and how he's needs a star plasma vessel
To evolve.
like to evolve, but
Probably.
they don't want him
They
to
don't
evolve.
want him to
They want him
evolve.
to like digress,
Yeah,
right? And so basically in Digimon, their Digimons digivolve, right? So it goes from like the main character goes
Agumon.
Agumon goes into Greymon, then Greymon goes into what is it, Metal Greymon, then Metal Greymon goes into War Greymon, right? Like that's the way it works.
It's a regular chain.
That's a regular chain of events, right? But what happens is when Agumon goes into Greymon, after that, he's like being forced to digivolve because the main character feels like, yo, like he's not enough, he's not doing this and that, right? So because of that,
His feelings are getting
his
in the
his
way.
feelings and shit, and so because of that, he digivolves into Skull Greymon, which is an evil version of what he was like not supposed to evolve into. And then that's a reference he's making. He's like, oh yeah, he's gonna turn into Skull Greymon, but we don't want it to be Skull Greymon. We want him to go backwards, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
That was really. I love that reference.
Yeah, no, that was great.
Yeah.
I was smiling from ear to
Yeah,
ear.
yeah, yeah.
I was
yeah.
like, man,
Any
fucking
more
love-
of these?
I was like, I love JJK, man.
Yeah. Yo, just for its references,
Yeah,
like every
yeah.
time he
Easily.
doesn't miss with his references. They're not
Yeah.
cringy or anything.
Lord
Like
of the Rings
everything, man. Wait, Lord of the Rings. When did he do that?
in season 1.
Yeah, in season
He's
one.
he's watching.
I gotta
Lord,
rewatch
He's
it.
watching Lord
He's
of the
watching
Rings
Lord of the Rings.
while he's
How did I
doing
miss
that.
that? Okay, I gotta watch. I gotta rewatch.
Lord
That
of
means
the
I gotta do a
Rings,
full
fucking
rewatch.
JJK,
I'm doing a full rewatch.
Dragon Ball Z, Naruto,
Yeah, I
Bleach,
caught all the because I caught all the other ones, but I didn't know he did
Hunter,
Lord of the Rings.
D Gray Man.
Yu Yu
Shit, he's
Hakusho.
cultured.
Yeah, bro.
But anyways, what else happened in the episode? They had
They get the mission.
Yeah.
They go to
Oh, yeah.
meet with the Star Plasma vessel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we see Toji as well on screen.
yeah. So people were comparing the screen of Toji to how you see it on manga,
Yeah.
and like they gave him like titties, bro. Like they full on like he's like he has a slim figure.
Yeah.
They made him like up like chest out like like he's fucking benching 225 type of
Well, that's
thing.
what he
And
looked
he-
like when he had the
yeah.
tight shirt.
Yeah.
But you know,
I mean, I'm here
No,
for
I'm
it.
here for
Yeah,
it.
I'm
I
here
feel
for
like-
it, bro.
I was just saying
Just-
there's differences.
Just based off of like, I'm not gonna say like exactly what, but like based off of like what we've seen in the manga, like he has like a knack for showing slim figures when they're completely covered, but then when they get a tight shirt,
Yeah,
they're
buff.
fucking buff.
Yeah.
Mhm. That's true.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I've seen like anime fans discussing like who's Toji, who could he be?
Yeah.
Who's he
Is that his
related to?
brother?
How's he?
Is he Megami's brother?
It could be. We don't know. We'll find out.
We don't know.
We don't know.
We anyone. And then-
Anyways,
Anyways, excited for next episode.
yeah,
though.
excited for next
Oh,
episode
yeah.
for sure.
Oh, 5 episodes. Gojo's
That's what
Pass.
Yeah,
That's what I was gonna. That's what
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
gonna bring up earlier when I first brought it up, because when we were talking about how they're gonna break down season 2,
Yeah.
we were wondering if they're gonna spend
But this way they can fit all of Shibuya.
Yeah.
all the
It
yeah,
literally says 18 episodes for
18
Shibuya.
yeah.
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 which is wild, because
But it's 5 episodes, I believe, a 3-week break, and then 18 episodes
yeah.
straight.
So but 5 episodes of
Wow.
Gojo's Past is like, to me, that felt like not enough, because I think
We said 7 to 8.
that's what I was thinking. Like 8 episodes
Yeah.
felt that's enough to portray it all, and especially if they're including more scenes and stuff.
But
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
fair, a lot of it is fights.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
So
that's
it's
what
easy
makes it harder
animate.
to figure
So
out the
they-
pacing and stuff
Yeah.
for JJK.
They can easily
because of
put
that.
like 3-4 episodes in one, like,
Yeah.
or
Oh, yeah.
chapters in one episode or
Yeah,
some
yeah,
shit.
for sure, for sure.
Because with Shibuya, I think overall we were saying it was gonna be, what was it? Was it 30 episodes we needed for Shibuya or something like that?
Yeah.
But then eventually we're kind of like they could probably, because Shibuya's all fights,
Mhm,
they can
mhm.
fit Shibuya within like
Like-
15
No,
episodes,
for sure.
and then have the end just be like the start of the next thing.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you,
yeah.
you know we talked about where we're gonna end.
yeah.
All right, JJK manga.
Dude.
So
We've been gone for a minute.
we've been on for mad long, and a lot of shit has happened.
You know what sucks, Sad? We had so many conversations in the middle of the night in Japan, and like,
just
I
about,
wish we had
like,
recorded it. Which kind of
no,
sucks.
for sure. That would have been great content.
We just be in the middle of the train, and then he'd just be looking at us, and he's like, "Yo, you know what doesn't make sense?" And then we'd have like a whole conversation. We missed one of our stops, high key, because we were in the middle of like, yo, wait, nah, actually it's like this. Wait, no, because of this.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, we literally like we were so good for like 90% of the trip, and then
Yeah.
like near the end of the trip, we just like we missed our stop, and we had to hop off the train,
Yeah.
and go back
No,
the other
'cause,
way.
yo, Jujutsu Kaisen's
That's
been
crazy.
crazy, bro. Like this last 3 chapters have all been Gojo versus Sukuna,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's been insanity.
yeah.
So
Just
like
heat.
this chapter,
well,
So-
he had the barrier, domain fight
yeah,
where he sucked Sukuna into like a small little pea-sized
domain,
Yeah.
domain,
yeah.
and it shatters,
And they're kind of like everyone's rattled. They're talking about it.
and you see Sukuna's injured.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, bro, like,
And you see them talking about how it's bad that Gojo showed Sukuna. what
Yeah.
Gojo was doing.
Like
Yeah.
to
Because
reverse curse
Sukuna's just
technique.
so
Yeah.
crazy that the fact that
CT.
he was able to split himself into those
Yeah.
20 fingers
just
Yeah,
after
yeah.
seeing
after
Kenny do it
seeing
yeah,
it,
once.
yeah.
he's gonna do the same thing with what Gojo
I
just
mean,
did.
You would like I
And
had already assumed that because Sukuna was like
Yeah.
the top sorcerer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that he was on par with Gojo in terms of intellect,
Adaptability and everything.
adaptability too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like at least to some extent, right?
Yeah.
So I already assumed that he was gonna be able to do that.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
only thing is like, the crazy thing is like Gojo saying himself that he's only been using basic attacks this entire time.
Like he's been only using the shrine. Like he hasn't.
only shrine. He hasn't
Yeah.
been using anything beyond.
He's kind of shook
like, the
why
10
Sukuna's
shadows
only
or
doing
anything.
what
Why
he
isn't
did.
he like
Nothing.
he's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
surely Sukuna
'Cause
has the
it's
memories
like
of being Megumi.
It's a chess game, right?
Yeah.
Between these two, and
But I also think
It's-
because
it's crazy
he also hasn't done the open thing either.
He hasn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
that's
yeah,
true.
because like I guess from us, we've seen Sukuna do whatever abilities he's done,
Yeah.
but when we're seeing Gojo, like we don't know what he's like, why he's doing what he's doing,
Yeah.
and you have like that whole peanut gallery like talking about it.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yo, like, why is he doing this?" And it kind of just adds to, and you're like, "Yo, why is he doing this?" And then we don't really get a second to think about like, why is Sukuna going along with it?
Yeah.
And then until you see Gojo reflect, and he's kind of like, "Yo, like,
'Cause
why
he's,
isn't he using his shadows?
Yeah,
Like,
'cause
why
he's,
isn't
like,
he
in
using
that
Maharoga
domain,
and stuff?"
he's like, for 3 minutes I had the upper hand and he didn't do anything
Yeah.
like to change or like use the 10 shadows
Well,
or
he,
Maharoga
he even
or
explains
something.
like in that scenario because he changed the conditions of his domain, right?
Yeah.
So he said in that scenario it would have been better for him to try to destroy the domain from the inside than the outside,
Yeah.
but he stuck to destroying it from the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what do
like,
you think it is though? Why do you think Sukuna's?
I think
kinda
he's doing it
going-
all on purpose.
I
I
do
agree.
too.
That he actually
I think
has
they're-
like a
like, they're
more,
both-
he has more techniques that he's not using, and he's just that much of a fucking beast.
They're both kind of doing it on purpose because like
No, because like
it's almost like they're testing each other, but
I don't even think-
But to be
but
fair,
it's at a different. It's like Gojo's being tested on the defensive side, where he
Yeah.
needs to keep adapting to figure out what works
how
against
to get the
Sukuna.
upper hand.
Yeah,
And it's basically where like Sukuna just like, oh okay, word this.
Yeah.
this.
yeah.
No, because
Yeah.
at the end of the chapter,
Because Sukuna's not
But-
trying to
but
Sukuna's
to
not trying to
be-
reveal it too much because he knows that as sick as Gojo is, if he can find a way to overcome it, then he's gonna be like out of straws to like do shit.
To be fair, other
Right.
than
Yeah.
other than
hands to
that
play.
one chapter we saw
Yeah.
where they were going hand to hand fighting,
Yeah.
and then that very next chapter we got was where it was all from like Yuji guys' perspective, and then at the end they just go into a domain battle, and that
Yeah, yeah.
domain
Yeah.
battle lasted 2-3 chapters or something.
Yeah.
So then we haven't really seen like
Anything.
anything other than a domain battle.
No, we
for,
Domain
haven't.
fight.
We haven't.
because he kept just
Off
domain, just domain
Yeah,
expansion, domain
yeah,
expansion,
yeah.
domain
And the
expansion.
thing is, he's hit it like 5 times now.
For real.
Yeah.
And Sukuna's just been sitting there with the same one open.
Yeah.
So
But it's
So, like-
shattered now, finally.
yeah, it shattered now.
Yeah.
But what my point is, because of that, like that it's been a domain battle, it makes sense why we haven't also seen
Other techniques.
like open or for,
Yeah, yeah.
more so
Yeah, yeah.
open.
It's-
Right.
Not 10 shadows. 10 shadows like he could have probably popped while he had his domain popped.
It's kind of scary thinking that he can adapt his domain the same way Gojo's adapting his,
Yeah.
because like it's already so nuts.
Crazy. Yeah.
How is he gonna like if it evolves even further and gets just crazier?
Yeah.
Like what are we supposed to expect out of this?
I don't
This is
think.
wild.
I think this is like this entire sequence of events was to show that this is not gonna be anything with domains.
Domains,
It's
yeah.
gonna go beyond domains.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be strictly sort
I
of
think-
curse techniques sort of shit.
I know
I
the
mean?
past few chapters we were talking about how there's a little bit of ass pullery towards this fight,
Yeah.
where like as
Yeah.
hype as these guys are, it's kind of breaking the pre-established rules or what we
Yeah.
had thought were.
Yeah.
the laws of how sorcery works.
I
Yeah.
agree.
But I think this chapter kind of like it makes up for it, in my opinion. Just for because this chapter really showed how like a cut above these guys were in terms of their adaptability and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Where it didn't seem like as much of an ass pull anymore.
Okay.
Like prior to reading this, I was kind of like, okay, it's kind of losing me here and like how complex their power system is. And because it's so complex, like the readers get lost in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So having them just say something, you're kind of just sitting there like, unless you go back and reread it, you're kind of saying like, okay, like I'll take it as
That's
you say
literally,
it.
but I feel like so many people are like that. Like even I was talking to a friend. He's like, "Yo, like they just feed me info, and I just keep
And you just
accepting
take it.
Yeah.
because I don't understand the power system."
Yeah, because you'd have to go back and like
Yeah.
reread it and like actually like try to understand
But
it, right?
if, like
Yeah.
to
So
me,
then-
to me, it feels like Gage has been multiple times breaking the rules that he set himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's also part of it.
That's what it feels
That's
like.
also
But he's
true.
self-aware.
He's that's what I'm saying though. That's what I'm saying. Like
No,
this,
I
this
know.
like this, like
In
this
the chapter, he's
chapter.
like, don't
That's what I'm
expect
saying.
the impossible from like these
Like-
guys, or expect the impossible
Yeah.
from these guys because
Yeah.
Like this chapter made it seem like these guys are just so built different that like
yeah.
like the people that built the sorcery world or whatever, they don't even know what people are actually capable of.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
these guys
Sukuna
are the
says it
these
in
guys are the first
Shibuya.
to like
Yeah,
step
he does.
into that
Yeah.
Say
shit.
it
You
in
know.
Shibuya.
he says in Shibuya that like you guys don't actually understand true sorcery.
Yeah.
Like you guys are only at the surface or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then like when you move from Shibuya to Culling Games, you already think like there's already such a total shift there in how people are using and fighting, like using their abilities and fighting, right?
The thing is,
So then
right,
You
for
would
Sukuna to have said that, right? I assumed when he had said that, right,
Yeah.
that sorcerers in the past
Were better.
were using Jujutsu sorcery in a specific way
yeah.
that's not being used anymore, and we would have seen more of them in Culling Game.
And,
but we
and
didn't.
especially with
Yeah.
Hajime, because back then it was more based on curse techniques versus
Yeah,
now
yeah.
it's more
But, like,
domain
we didn't
based.
see
So-
like any other person use this sort of open technique.
Yeah.
So like, is this something that only Sukuna was able to achieve, or like did those people were so strong that Kenjaku couldn't even make a contract with them for them to come back? You know what I mean?
I still think open is his curse technique.
Yeah.
Like when Yoryuzu was talking about Sukuna's curse technique,
Yeah.
the way it kind of got explained was that it's like a box that opens that like holds stuff. Like
Yeah.
what would you call it? Like,
Like Crollo's book.
yeah,
From Hunter x
something
Hunter?
like that.
Yeah.
But like in a shrine,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, yeah,
and like
yeah.
he's opening that like door to swap out what he's using.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what like my theory is.
So
Yeah.
as of like right now, right?
That's fair.
yeah.
In Sukuna's arsenal, right? He had his shrine.
Yep.
He has Megami's 10 Shadows.
Yep.
And then he has Yoryuzu's gift. Or
Whatever
Yoryuzu's
the fuck that is.
Whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah.
So like right now, because at the end of the chapter we see he's summoning Maharoga, right?
Yeah.
we
Well, you
don't
see the wheel.
know.
You see the
You see
You
wheel.
see the
wheel,
wheel. He
and
could
then-
But you
have
don't-
activated the wheel way before this fight even began.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just put it in a shadow.
Yeah. The wheel could be
Okay.
anything.
Yeah.
Because he
But-
could have
but
also
then we
adapted
see-
how
we
he
see-
because he'd already pulled out Maharoga before with
Yeah.
the Yoryuzu fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he might have already adapted from that one release of
Yeah.
you know what
So
I mean?
now we see Gojo bleeding from his nose.
That's like, what is it? It can't be Maharoga.
I know. I think it's he's using too much CT.
I agree.
Like it's too taxing on his brain, and he can't.
His
Gojo?
brain. It's
Yeah.
It's too taxing on
Yeah.
his brain.
the way he's reversed because he's
He's-
reverse techniquing his technique, right?
No, but he's
Also his body.
Right.
and he's
But
always
he's probably forgetting
Yeah.
about his brain.
Yeah.
no, but he's always doing it, right?
Yeah,
Remember
because his
you were
brain's
saying-
constant.
Because I think
Yeah.
his constant reverse
Yeah.
curse technique on his
Checking-
brain, so
yeah.
he stays refreshed, and
Yeah.
he can run his infinity automatically.
optimal and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, but if he's like, I
He's-
don't
like,
know,
he's
let's
slowly
just say
breaking, is what you're
priorities.
saying.
Yeah, like let's
Yeah,
just say like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like a priority thing. Like okay, right now the priority is my brain. The priority is like making
Yeah.
sure I don't
he's
bleed out
he's
to death.
shifting what needs to get
Or
reversed.
I
at
need
each
my
point.
curse technique back, so like
Yeah.
that's my priority.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then like what if he just
That's
taxed
fair.
out a little too?
The only
His
thing is-
calculation didn't make sense, or like it didn't equate to what he thought it would.
Hold on, before,
Now he's bleeding.
Yeah. Go
before you
ahead.
say that,
Go ahead.
with the Asplary thing, just want to go back,
Okay.
because they had referenced the prison realm
Mm-hmm.
for how he learned how to
Yeah.
adapt his thing.
Yeah.
So that was kind of what I just want to say. That's what added to it, is because they had referenced like all that time he spent in the realm
Yeah.
is what made him like figure out how to use his change his domain and
like
stuff.
that.
Yeah, like being able to expand it and whatever and all that stuff. So
I think they just said
yeah.
being able to contract it, because
But just in-
they
just-
specifically talked about how how is he able to make
but
it
just
so
in
small?
general,
small,
just in
yeah.
general,
Yeah.
being able to change your domain, like that could have been
the condition. I think
Yeah.
that was something he could already do, is change the conditions of his
conditions
domain.
before.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then did the whole because being smaller
Yeah.
than you physically are.
Yeah, yeah.
That whole came from the prison.
Prison
Yeah,
realm.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But
That's what that's what made it less of an Aspel though, because it's like, that's where he was for literally however many days, 900 days or some shit
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
yeah.
yeah.
However long time passed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally forgot what I was gonna say.
Yo.
Yeah, I just slipped my mind. I don't know.
Come
It
on,
had something to
bro.
do with.
He was
Gojo.
talking about Gojo's brain,
Yeah.
how he had to change
I don't
between
know,
his
the,
things.
the thing is the fact that he's used his domain 5 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much of his cursed energy
Oh, we did
is
talk about we
left.
talked
is
about
left?
this. We talked about this, yeah.
Because the thing is, Sukuna. Okay, this is what's crazy, right? Sukuna has 4 times Gojo's cursed energy,
Yeah.
right? And then so when you do reverse curse energy, you have to use double the amount of cursed energy, right? Because you're going negative plus negative to get positive,
Yeah.
right? So if you're one, he had to constantly do that against his domain
Yeah.
in the beginning when he was getting cut up and shit, and he's been doing that a lot.
Yeah.
So you would assume that eats up a good chunk of your, cursed energy. Now he's popped his domain five times. Right? And when we talk about like regular, and I granted Gojo's not a regular sorcerer,
Yeah.
but in terms of regular sorcerers, we only ever see them pop a domain once.
And they tap out after.
And they
So-
tap
so
out
it's-
after. So how much of his energy goes into him popping a domain, and how much does he have left after popping it 5 times?
Yeah, because we were having this conversation where, so like a regular person, if it's safe to assume that when they use their domain, they're using above 50% of their cursed energy capacity because they can't tap into the domain again.
Yeah.
But that's like such a rough thing to say because usually domains are like the be all end all. So after a domain is popped, you usually have one winner,
Yeah.
right?
And again, that depends on the conditions of the domain, because like older domains weren't built like that.
Yeah.
So then
they're a little bit easier.
And they would take less energy, I'd assume.
Yeah.
Right. But again, with him, like, so he popped it 5 times, and so he was saying on average like 60%, right? Like
for like a regular sorcerer,
person, let's say,
60%.
would use 60% of their cursed energy, right?
Okay.
But because Gojo is so efficient with his cursed techniques
Yeah.
and his energy,
Yeah.
It was like 20%,
he was saying 20% of his cursed energy would be used
Per.
but not even less than that because he's like he has the infinity and stuff. It's
like-
so hard to really
But thing is, like,
judge it.
now, if
In that
even though-
sense, he'd
even
be
though-
tapped out, he'd have 0 curse energy.
Because the conversation we were having was like, if him and Sukuna are constantly popping their domains,
yeah,
he's using his cursed energy so efficiently
Yeah.
that even though Sukuna has 4 times his energy,
Yeah.
Sukuna's losing a lot of his
Sukuna
energy.
only
per-
popped it once.
he's only popped it once so far.
Did he not pop it every time? So
No.
you're saying
No.
It's been
because he did
open.
amplification the one time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just
Okay.
been open the
He-
entire
So he's been trying to force him to do it.
Yeah.
But do you think that the 5 times that he popped it equates to the 1 time that Sukuna popped it?
I think because
'Cause I
Sukuna
feel
has
like-
that
I feel
much
like
more
he-
cursed energy than him, and he hasn't been like
That's fair, but his goal is to like. I mean, at least my theory was his
Yeah.
goal was to bring Sukuna down to a level where the standby guys can come in and like finish him. Right.
But I think
So-
his nose bleeding is a result of him using too much cursed energy.
100%.
Like he's
Yeah.
been using it like
But
like frivolous.
What I'm saying is, I
He's
just
like,
I
I don't
just
give a fuck.
But
I just think his efficiency is just so top tier, like
Yeah.
above
yeah.
Sukuna's,
Yeah.
that even though he's been doing that and it's taxing on him, he
Yeah.
hasn't really used up that much.
That's what I was about to say. I was about to say, wouldn't his 6 eyes see how much he's like using, and like, so like, wouldn't that be a part of his calculations on what he's doing?
Yeah.
But like how
So
much?
if he
but
popped
do you think he was
like 5 times and say
Yeah.
like he's done used too much?
Like, let's say
Yeah.
it's 10% per thing, and he's just 50%.
So you think? But so like how much do you think he's used so far?
I don't know,
It's
because
so
like
tough
when
to
they
say.
because it's tough to
It's
say,
tough to
because
say.
when they described how it was his efficiency is, they say it's near 0.
It's like near zero.
Yeah.
And that's for regular curse techniques. And if it's domain, you like 5% to 10%. That's like a fair ballpark, I'd say. But even that would be too high to even like for you to confidently say that's what it is.
I think
But
now he's used more than 50%.
Of his curse energy reserves.
Yeah, and that's why his nose is bleeding. Because the thing is, Gojo seems like somebody who's never, other than against
Had
Toji,
to push himself that far.
Yeah, like post Toji,
Yeah.
he's never been in a situation where he has to like push himself to his limits,
Yeah.
right? So then if he was fighting against somebody who's been consistently pushed against their limits to like become the best or whatever, if
Sure.
Sukuna was like that, I don't know if he was. One person would thrive in that situation, whereas the other person would be like unexpected. You know what I mean?
But in his
Not that I'm saying he's not gonna be able to overcome that obstacle,
but in
Yeah.
his
but I mean, it would be harder for him than it would for Sukuna. You
in
know?
his
Yeah.
calculations though, even if he had used like if each one was 5%, 10%,
Yeah.
how much do you think Sukuna had used for the one pop? Because you
No,
would assume
I
that
don't think it was that much.
his efficiency would be
Well, he
the
did
same.
expand it at some point. I don't know
Sukuna's
if that
efficiency would be the
takes-
same as a
He
regular
expanded it
sorcerer.
and he shrunk it too.
Yeah,
Well, I
but
thought Gojo took it in.
No. So
He shrunk it to. Oh no, he shrunk it.
He shrunk it to
go with the
match.
barrier.
He
Yeah.
he
shrunk
yeah.
it
shrunk it to
So,
match so
okay.
that he could
But I'm saying-
increase the
I'm saying-
output
So then
of
do-
the attacks.
So then does that take any curse energy to expand?
I think he.
I think it does.
If he has, I think if Sukuna.
Oh no, because he changed the conditions too.
Yeah.
So I don't know how the conditions would vary.
Yeah.
But I know that when he shrunk, like when Sukuna shrunk his shrine,
Yeah.
it increased the output of his attacks.
Yeah.
So he basically like he
Made
it
it
was a
more
trade-off.
potent.
It was a trade-off.
Yeah.
Right. He
I think it's safe to
he
say-
traded range for attack power. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think it's
If Sukuna,
like it's the same.
okay,
Like it doesn't take like if you to I think expanding it takes more than shrinking it. That's what I'm trying to say. Like if you
Okay.
like if you have it expanded, right? And
Yeah.
you're trying to shrink it.
Yeah.
It takes like no cursed energy because all you're doing is changing it from here to here. But if you're trying to go beyond from
you're
here
you're
to
trying
there,
to create.
yeah, then
what
it
you're
takes more. I think.
I think it's both ways. I think even if you're shrinking it,
yeah.
that's making it more efficient. Because if you take the prison realm, for example,
Mhm.
that's like it's such a small thing, but it's so like there's no way out of it. You really only have two options to get out of it,
Yeah.
and that's such a D's thing where it's like even the strongest wouldn't be able to actually like get out of there.
Which is kind of crazy. Like who the fuck created the prison realm?
But so then, I think even just having Sukuna pop it just one time
Yeah.
was a really big thing for what Gojo wanted. And if you're saying like Sukuna has 4 times of what Gojo has,
Yeah.
I think this would have dropped it down to 3 times. Like, or not 3 times, but like, you know, like if it's split up into quarters,
Yeah.
that like a quarter of his energy
It's gone.
has been used up from this fight.
I
In
don't
terms of
think-
curse technique, amplification,
I'm more
and,
inclined to
and
say
fucking with his like domain, the fact that you have to like shrink and expand it.
Yeah.
We don't know how much of his like curse energy that had used up for him to like figure that out.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be as efficient as
Gojo.
he normally
So
would have done it.
That's okay. Okay.
so. I'm still more inclined to say that, what your in line was saying because Gojo needs to damage Sukuna to the point where somebody else can finish the job or something, right? Because I think we all see
Yeah,
Gojo
losing.
not surviving,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
losing
yeah.
the battle,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that makes more sense to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It might not be exactly like
Yeah.
down
Yeah.
like 25%,
No, I think.
but I think it's
like, okay,
equatable
yeah, we're-
to what
like-
he had lost in terms of like if he has a bar of like his full bar
Yeah.
is 10
Yeah.
and fucking Sukuna has 40,
Or-
Yeah.
even though he lost like 2.5 or whatever, Sukuna lost like that sizable amount, the same
So you
amount
think
for that.
like Gojo had 10, he lost like 0.5 or whatever
Because of how efficient he is.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and then Sukuna's at 30 now.
Yeah. So, like,
Okay,
so,
I
like
would
it's
say
like
I would
equating
say
to that.
Sukuna's at 35.
Sure. But like
Yeah.
even then it's like enough that eventually it'll lead to somebody else taking over because we know that Yuta has double the amount of him.
Yeah,
So if he can just bring by the end of the fight bring Sukuna down to half, That's
and
enough for
it
you-
Yuta.
exactly. Even at 3, because then you also have Maki and
Everyone
Hajime,
else.
like you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
So because that's ultimately like the goal for him is
But
just
the
to
thing
bring
is,
him
I don't
down
know,
enough.
Like other than okay, let's say because we don't know if Maharoga's out, like summoned or not,
Yeah.
whatnot, right?
Yeah.
Other than Gojo, let's say Gojo's out, he's now down to half his curse energy, Sukuna, right?
Mm-hmm.
And by if there's chance he hasn't used Maharoga,
Yeah.
if he uses Maharoga, out of all of them who can take Maharoga out, probably Yuta, right?
Yeah.
Is it probably who?
Actually, no, Maki probably take.
What did you
Maki,
say?
right?
Well, because
Maybe.
Maki
yeah,
doesn't have cursed
maybe.
energy, so you
Yeah.
could say that like because he cuts through cursed energy
So
or he's unaffected by how
he's
does it work?
Doomsday, bro.
But
So his blades are anti-cursed energy blades.
yeah, so Maki
So anything that's cursed energy, it gets cut through
So Maki would be the perfect thing to fight
Yeah.
against it.
against it. Yeah,
So
But-
do you? So
But she has her sword wouldn't do damage then.
yeah.
If their swords clash.
but
they
if he
just cut
but
right
if
through
but if
it.
she can't get cut by the sword, like if the swords
But the thing is, because Maharoga adapts,
Yeah.
what they could do is they could put it in a like
position
to fight Maki, have it adapt against Maki,
and then fuck it up,
and then fuck it up. Yeah, they could do that.
that's fair.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Like it
so you think with this wheel
well-
coming out that this is the time for the peanut gallery to pull it?
no, they're not anywhere close to pull up.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think
not
so.
ready- not ready
I
yet?
think
No.
yeah.
I think we got a couple more chapters, bro.
You think it's a little bit of Maharoga just murking out Gojo for a bit?
Yeah.
Well,
Not
yeah.
working out, but they're gonna be fighting.
Yeah.
'Cause we
Well,
don't know
Gojo.
how.
Well, the thing was,
There's, like,
in
a
the
long ways
chapter,
to go.
Gojo says that he would just blitz Maharoga.
Maharoga before he can even do anything.
Didn't when does he say that?
He said that in the chapter.
No, he said that
he's
he's
like,
aware.
is Sukuna afraid that I'd blitz it?
Yeah,
He said that. Did
he
say
does.
He
br-
said
yeah,
that.
he does bring it up.
And my
Where he's
other,
like, because he's wondering why he hasn't brought these things up,
Yeah.
and he's like, oh, even if he had brought, like, I would have just like dealt with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like, yeah. So the other thing that was though, Gojo's threats are just fake if he just dies at the end.
Yeah.
Because he's like, because at the start of this fight, he's like, thank you for showing me like Yuji dying,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
now I can confidently kill you and worry about Megumi later.
yeah. I mean,
So that means that his plan is to kill Sukuna and Megumi,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then go into the innate domain and pull Megumi out. using reverse curse technique.
Okay, yeah.
It's fair. That means, but that's a tough condition for him to
But
get
again,
Yeah.
like yo, Sukuna,
because he
this
needs to
entire
be
time-
functioning enough at the end of the fight to
Yeah.
beat Sukuna
Yeah,
to
exactly.
even do that.
So
And
did you guys-
wait, because that could also, if that's his plan, it could be one of those things where like if he only has enough energy to either to bring like both like to reverse technique himself or
Yeah.
like do it on Megumi, he's gonna choose
He's gonna
Megumi
do-
and he's gonna
yeah.
die.
But like the thing is, right?
Right?
Word.
I feel like at the end of the chapter, did Gojo look like rattled to you guys or like startled?
He did look rattled.
He looked like not composed, right? Like not
Not
how he-
composed,
how-
but
not
more
how he's-
more so trying to figure out Sukuna's game.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like to me.
Okay.
Like his art also kind of looked different. Like
Yeah.
Gojo's just looking
No,
different.
because
in
Sukuna's
general.
been like he's been laughing the entire time. Not once has Sukuna
like
been.
smirks and shit.
Yeah, he's not once has he been stressing. You know,
I-
It's
think-
tough though, cause
Well, Gojo always has like that, like
carefree attitude. Yeah.
no, but
No.
like that, like when he starts fighting, he has like that, like
stressed. Like he's there to like fuck shit up.
murder
save
somebody.
people,
look,
do
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
like that
But
psychopath.
so that's
look.
what makes me think that Sukuna hasn't even got serious
Yeah,
yet.
I mean,
The
you know,
fact that
if
Sukuna hasn't made like a face like that.
But if you compare the way he looked when he was fighting Toji,
Yeah.
he looks like a maniac.
Yeah, exactly.
it's like
And
the same
even
thing.
even when he fought the
Jogo.
Jogo, and he was literally full on psychopath.
Yeah, I think that's just him. Like for him to like really like be in his element, he just kind of.
But we haven't seen
'Cause
like that's what I'm seeing. We haven't seen that sort of like.
If even if
he's
you
been put on
compared,
more like calm, I feel like.
In this fight?
Yeah, in general.
Well, I mean, because it's a chess match.
Yeah.
That's
But-
why at the end, like, he's confused. Like, I played this whole chess game with him.
Yeah.
I broke his domain.
Yeah,
Like,
I
what-
should've-
like,
should've
why
been
isn't he
checkmate
reacting?
And
already.
why
Like,
isn't
what's
he
happening?
reacting? Like, why
Yeah.
hasn't he brought out the 10 shadows or
Yeah.
anything else? Like,
Also,
what's
yo-
going on?
They showed Kenjaku, like watching it, or was I tripping?
He was explaining something.
What was he explaining? I'm trying to remember now.
How the only way to survive the infinite void is to touch Gojo or whatever.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that
He
happened,
told-
la-
he
that
told-
happened last chapter.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
That was last chapter
'Cause-
when
Because
Sukuna
basically, like he,
Sukuna touches him and he does the domain
yeah,
and then
and,
he's
and
like
that he
not
bypassed the
affected.
domain.
So yeah, that was another thing that Gojo can be affected by his own domain.
Because he's normally not affected by it.
No. We thought
Like-
remember how we the fandom had been under the assumption that Gojo could process the
Infinite.
infinite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Like his mind operates,
his mind could operate at that level.
but
Yeah.
it
But
can't.
considering the fact that Sukuna could touch him and not be affected means that Gojo
Is not affected by it.
yeah, like as in like if you were to hit Gojo with his own domain
He's
expansion,
fucked.
he would get fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
it's he, in that domain. He's not a condition to be like touched like by the infinite
yeah.
void.
Yeah, like but before that,
But
we
if
had-
he was touched by the infinite void, I mean, it makes sense.
yeah,
Because that's what his curse technique, right? Like it's automatically.
It makes sense, but like
Yeah.
basically the fandom was just wrong.
So his
Yeah,
brain,
that's
his
what I'm
brain
saying.
taps out if he.
But the
continuously
thing is
uses
like
it.
the fans had thought that Gojo could process.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
because
You know
if you
what I mean?
can
His
process
curse
infinite,
technique tells you it's
Yeah.
that he can't.
Yeah.
because it's basically because the whole Gojo versus Goku fight, essentially is why he's like talking about it.
Oh,
I didn't even say that.
But essentially, that's why though. It's because if Goku's moving this fast and he's doing this, his mind can't even process what's happening and stuff.
Mm.
Essentially,
Yeah.
because that was the whole thing, was like if his minds can process infinity, then like, then that's where you're having like the actual fight. Like, can Goku even touch him? Right? Because he's gonna react fast enough and do whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, I know. He's not beating Goku though. Essentially, that's what we got over there.
I didn't even say anything.
But
did I say
you
anything,
did it,
bro?
You did it, but it's
I didn't say
wait,
anything,
wait,
yo.
It's because we had
I
that.
didn't
wait,
say
convo.
anything,
He-
bro.
Sukuna was only able to touch Gojo because of his domain application. So
No, it was as soon
But,
as
like-
Gojo popped his domain, Sukuna touched him.
but didn't
Yeah.
he also use domain application
That
at
was
the same
one of
time
the
to touch him?
That was one of the other times. Like you know,
Yeah.
in like the one
Because
chapter, he
because
pops, like,
yeah,
three
because
times.
yeah.
Yeah.
Domain application is
So
one of
One
them.
of the times was domain application.
Amplification.
Amplification.
The other time was
The other
the other
time-
time was solely because he's touching him and he
Yeah.
wasn't affected. He was
Yeah.
able to like break out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just like one of those things. Like if he does pop his domain, if Goku can go and touch him,
Fast enough.
He
then-
can't do anything.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Anyways.
I mean, you know how fast he's moving and shit. so it's
Anyways,
kinda-
I didn't bring any of this.
I
up, by the way.
is
He said it.
because we had the convo. Because we had the convo, and I
Yeah,
knew
yeah,
why
yeah.
he brought it up.
Yeah. Anyways, so
Yeah, he tried to.
all right. So that's the end of our pod.
You gotta end it with like, he not beating Goku though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the end of our podcast. Go down there, comment, let us know what you guys thought about the chapters, the episodes.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notifications. And yeah, thank you guys for watching.
Peace.
Peace.